So on the table we've got a KX3 set up and some test equipment. The KX3 setup's in the black bag, and I'm hoping that it's can be got on there quite quickly. It's what's the time here? It's 8:30 at night. The light's dropping. We've probably got about 20 minutes. So it'll be interesting to see if I can get that thing out the bag and on the air with the new antenna inside of 20 minutes. Let's see what's what. There's all sorts of background noise going on around here with kids screaming. I guess they need to get out with COVID and stuff. Anyway, let's get down to the table and have a look. Right, so I've actually got a Nano VNA and a Rig Expert. I'm trying to determine which is the easiest or best one to have. And the Nano VNA is light, but it's a little bit more fiddly to operate. The Rig Expert is easier to operate, but it's the Rig Expert is not quite as light and more bulky, so more difficult to carry in a bag like this. Anyway, let's go. So I've made this is the HFJ-350M antenna from Comet. Does what it says on the tin, and the only modification I've made to it is on the bottom of the whip here. I've added a short, maybe 1 inch piece of cable and a power pole, and my intention is to make a set of a pair of radials for each band, and it's quite easy. It just clicks in on the power pole connector, and on testing this indoors it works fine, but we'll see what it's like out here now. So this YouTube is in conjunction with another YouTube that I did a few days back on calculating what lengths these radials should be. I think I got it right, and certainly indoors it looked close enough. And this is beautiful, beautiful wire to use. It really is. It's not got that brittle plastic effect to it. It's like silicone neoprene-ish. I can't really describe it any better than that, but it's really nice to handle, and it doesn't seem to hold folds and stuff that the more rigid stuff would. So what I'm doing here, I'm out of camera shot, is I'm slinging a radial each way, and the reason I'm doing that is as per another YouTube I've done some ESNet modelling, and if you have just one radial it's almost omnidirectional, but if you have two radials it is omnidirectional. Near as damn it perfect. So there we go. So that side's set up. This part of the antenna we don't need. I need the KX3, which is in that bag, which slots quite nicely straight into this bag. That's the reason I do that, just to keep it separate. And we'll chuck the other stuff on the floor. So battery, KX3 kit. What's the time running at now? 8:35. So we've been 5 minutes so far. Or maybe 4 and a bit, I don't know. 5 will do. Normally I run this straight out of the bag, but in this instance it's going to be loose on the table. Reason being is that We're going to stick it up on the stands. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty good. Reason being, we're going to stick it up on the stand on the table, and we can't do that in the bag very easily. At least it doesn't look like it. So back of the KX3, a couple of fold out stands. The battery in, also power poles. Quick connects, great stuff. Now we could turn that on, there's actually no point in that. We have to actually test the antenna. And initially I'm going to do it with a Rig Expert, okay. So Rig Expert, I have a 90-degree BNC bend on there, SO239 to BNC, to adapt the actual antenna base straight into the KX3. For that, I'm going to have to convert back from BNC to PL259 to go into the Rig Expert. That's only for testing. Right, that's up tight. Up tight, I'm sure there's a joke about that. Will the thing stay upright? Don't know, we'll have to make it. So indoors when I tried this, I had to retract almost 2 pieces, or possibly 3 elements there. They say 800 mil long for 20 metres. I've no idea what 800 is there. Let's give it a go, let's check the settings. Now this is kind of awkward because ordinarily I would tilt the Rig Expert up to me on the end of a piece of coax, not have the antenna straight in. But there we go, so pump in 14.2 megs roughly, exactly. Oh, there she goes. Tilting over. I'll hang on to that for a minute. We'll just have to leave it standing whilst it's scanning. Range, what range should we give it to start with, just to work out where we are? 4 megs. So that's 2 megs either side of 14.2. And now we got a cargo plane or something going over. And a train. There's all sorts of noise here tonight. Right, go. There we go. That's not so good. So she's low. There's a dip down low. About a meg down on where we want to be, so surely we're not bringing that shorter. Let's bring that down another element, do it again. It's kind of odd because in my basement it was perfect. Oh, there we go. A much lower, almost 1-to-1 SWR. Let's take a camera shot of this for speed. But still a bit low. Now that's kind of strange, right? Because you've got this honking great whip that goes up to 1.2 metres, but you're not using much of it. So let's bring her down again. Quick frequency sweep again. Oh. Oh, closer. At the end of the day, as long as we're reasonably close, the KX3 has a ATU in it as well. But I think that you have to have the antenna spot on, because the more efficient the antenna is and less the ATU has to do, the more will be radiated off the antenna. So let's go down just that fraction more. This is kind of crazy. It's like almost no whip at all. Maybe we could use another tapping point and a more whip. Oh, that's perfect. There we go. That's so close now. 14,120. So I'm going to change that range now to just 1 meg, because we'll see a lot better on the curve what it's actually doing. And we'll get another photo. That's still a bit low. I suppose the radials will have something to do with it as well, but I don't want to be getting into messing around with radials right now. And also, we've got the table. Just another scan there that I've just noticed the far end of one of the radials wasn't fully extended. It's actually made it worse. Right, so obviously bringing the end to the radials in will have some bearing as well. But let's try going down. The way you can tell when you do this is that if you get a real low SWR, like a good SWR, you know your radials are matched to the antenna. Whereas as you can see now, that SWR is higher in frequency than where we were. It's at 14,220, which is pretty much where we'd want to be. Let me come out of the way. It's kind of where we would want to be, but it's way off now. But if it's higher on that chart, that to me shows that radial lengths are a bit off, because you can compensate with the vertical part of the whip. We're way off now. That's too high, so I think probably me sitting too close to it was affecting that. Let's take her up a bit more. Have another go without me there. That's not good. SWR all over the show now. I do wonder if the metal content of this table, the metal band around it and the metal underneath, has anything to do with it. Right, let's change the range out to 5 megs. Just want to see what's going on. So bear in mind, this is the first time I played with this outside. It's not too bad. 15 minutes in. Not really much use. That's gone way down. The frequency's way down now, so this is not good. Why was I so close just now and now so far? The elements, I mean, if we could just go down. That's ridiculously low. Bring the frequency up. We're in the right area again. 14,320. We want it about 14,220 though. Right, so let's go up a little bit to bring that down. Have another go. Standing out of the way here. Close. And the SWR is down at 1.2, so that's pretty good. What's that? 14,520 still. Right, let's take her up a fraction more. Have another go. On the nose, 14,220. At this point, let's check the actual SWR. Let's have a picture first. And it's starting to get a bit dusky here. 20 was active when I came out. The time is now 8:47. So let's give her a go on the actual radio. And one thing's for sure, in real use, I'm going to have some arrangement in place that's going to keep this vertical, because you won't want to be in a QSO and the thing just tips over. Slight breeze and she's all gone. Right, so that's the setup with the Rig Expert. Gosh. I'm sure she's going to tip over in a minute, but there we go. How do we turn this thing on again? The two outside buttons, isn't it? Right. Those two. So here we are on our 8:49. How many minutes is that? Up on the screen now. Oh, listen to the descents. And we do have the ATU in here, which we should use to tune against the antenna. One to one now. So when I came outside from the shack at 8:30 roughly, the band did have quite a few stations on it, dotted about, some quite powerful ones, but band conditions were changing, so we'll soon see if there's any still about. I'm treating you to all sorts of background noise here. We live on a semi-main road, which is also a bus route. In a residential area, so you get kids playing, and you get buses and vehicles and motorbikes, and about 3 houses away is a set of traffic signals, traffic lights. So obviously you get the roaring motors as they take off from there.
If you want other places in Africa.
Well, that was a nice signal. 14,210, I think. Of course, he's not talking now, so we can't find him again. Let's move on.
Pensacola, Florida.
Fourteen two 115.
Yeah, roger that. Yeah, little atmospheric noise on my end. I think I got some storms nearby, but you're holding up at 5.5. What equipment are you flying? We're flying the Anderson 350M. We have a Comet radio. We put it out to 400 watts. It's about 10 feet long metal sheet. And the vertical stabilizer on the aircraft. Over. The equipment you're flying. Okay, again, it's an Airbus 330, over. Roger. Well, good luck and have some fun, well, you're just cruising at 37, so shouldn't be much of a problem talking. DG5BQ from N4DIA, 73, Rico. Thank you very much. Pleasure talking to you. Pleasure talking to Pensacola. And just stay healthy. All the best to you and your family. Bye-bye. And we'll go down the side and have a projection. I remind you about that. One time, Georgia.
Aeronautical mobile. This part of the video is the pack up, which we'll do at super speed. Ready? 8:58. Super nice wire. I'm in love with this stuff. I've been playing around with my radio, trying to get the aerial working.
Why?
Trying to get the radio working too.
Is the camera on?
Yep, camera's on.
Is the video on?
Yep, you're in the video. So, apart from the fact the stuff doesn't all fit in the bag because there's more than I would normally take, it's 9:02. 9:02. So how many minutes is that for a quick pack up? A lot faster than the setup. So what did I learn from that? Well, a little bit more testing of the antenna only, probably, without the radio, different tapping points, etc., just to get a bit more familiarity with the actual antenna, possibly away from a glass top table with a metal rim. Don't think that had a huge amount to do with it, but it's worth doing perhaps just on a plastic table or a kids table, or even just straight on the floor. And we know the relationship of the radials versus SWR to see whether your vertical element is matched to the radials. Along with that, the KX3 battery on the display was showing 10.6, and that's with a new gel cell, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there, whether I have an issue with the radio or whether it's supposed to say 10.6 when the thing's got 12. I don't know. Actually have to check out the DC power cable with a multimeter to see what voltage I actually have on the pins, or whether that's to do with the batteries that are inside, because there are nickel metal hydrides, I think, inside the radio. Maybe that's just reading the voltage of those batteries. Not really sure. Again, I'm not overly familiar with the radio because I haven't had the opportunity to get out and about with it. That's my aim with this. Get up to speed to something that I can deploy quickly, use, and then be gone with an hour or whatever, not have half-hour setup and half-hour takedown. So in summary, more to be done. Watch this space.
So this video, if you like it, our video, comment down below a thumbs up.
Thanks for watching VA3SII. Bye.